What's up, you guys? I'm the Anime Guru, and this is my countdown for the top 10 most evil anime characters of all time. And this is just a warning, but this video will contain spoilers, as there's no way that I can justify why an anime character is so evil without describing the actions that they take to make that deep of an impression on my opinion of them. So if you guys look in the video description, I'll list off all the anime and video times that each character is from, so that way there's a less of a chance that you guys will be spoiled if you know when the anime is coming up that you haven't seen yet. So I highly advise that you make use of that. So anyway, that being said, let's dive in. Starting us off at number 10 is Creed Diskinth from Black Cat. Now, this guy Creed is a dick. In Black Cat, Creed has this attraction for the power of the male lead of the show, Train Hartnett, who is a cold-blooded assassin. So anyway, one day, Train meets a bounty hunter named Saya on the rooftop while she's singing a song, and after this, they gradually fall in love with each other, and Saya sort of teaches Train how to really fully appreciate life and causes him to question his life as an assassin. Now, Creed, being a fellow assassin, becomes enraged by this and sees Saya as the cause of Train's disloyalty to Kronos, which is the assassin organization. So Creed does, which is the reason that he's number 10 on this list, is the day before Train and Saya's first date, he goes up to Saya and tries to kill her before Train shows up. Now, he fails to do this at first, so instead what he does is he attacks a group of 3 children who just happen to be standing nearby at the time, and this causes Saya to sacrifice herself to save the lives of those children. Now, if you're a viewer who hasn't seen Black Cat yet, you might think to yourself, well, that isn't that evil. I mean, it's not like top 10 countdown evil. I've just got to say this, it's not so much Creed's actions that make him evil, but it's more his way of thinking. I mean, Creed is just overall straight up gay for Train Hartnett. Like, he will do anything to make Train stay salty, and whether that means murdering innocent children or killing the love of his life, he will do whatever it takes. And that, my friends, is why Creed Diskinth is number 10 on this list. Moving on. In all my years of watching anime, there's only been 2 characters and it made me want to punch my hand through my computer screen in sheer anger. Those 2 people would be Makoto from School Days and the number 9 on this list, Seiji Nomi from Excel World. So what makes me hate this fucker so much? Well, he lures a fat, innocent little man into the girl's shower, sets up cameras in there, and blackmails the main character Haru and his friend Chi with the footage of them together in the shower. If Haru doesn't give him 10 burst points a day, which to save you a long explanation is a point system from a game, Nomi will spread the camera footage throughout the school and get Haru expelled. Now, Haru tried to end it all by beating Nomi in a fight, but Nomi, being the troll that he is, stole Haru's super rare flying ability, and in effect crushed the self-esteem that he spent so many episodes building up. Nomi isn't evil in your traditional murdering innocent people and slaughtering women and children type of manner, but the reason that he makes this list is because he's the dirtiest bastard I've ever seen in anime. I mean, this guy's just such a prick that it makes you want to jump into the anime and kick the living shit out of him, but that's just me. But anyway, guys, that's why Nomi's number 9 on this list. Moving on. Coming in at number 8 is Makishima Shogo from Psycho Pass. Now, at first you might say, well, how can this pretty boy be evil? He looks too nice to be bad. Don't let looks deceive you. Makishima is actually one of the most deceptive and manipulative anime characters I've ever seen. So why exactly does Makishima make this list, you might ask? Well, Makishima likes to manipulate otherwise innocent people and convince them to commit atrocities such as murdering people artistically and putting it on display for all to see, capturing humans and hunting them down like wild animals, and overall killing people in general. In Psycho Pass, a person's potential to commit crime is measured by something called the Sybil system and is called your crime coefficient. Makishima has a unique crime coefficient that is unable to be read and exploits this in order to commit as many murders as he wants. Makishima is just straight up a bad apple. This guy even went as far as to create a special type of mask that he can wear that's unable to be read by the Sybil system, and in effect it threw an entire city into complete and utter chaos. This guy's just evil no matter how you look at it, and he's very deserving of the number 8 on this list. Moving on. As much as I watch anime, I also watch a lot of American movies, horror movies in particular, and although I've yet to be movie scared watching an anime, Higurashi brought me the closest to that point, and single-handedly due to the number 7 spot on this list, Shion Sonozaki. I can sum up Shion Sonozaki in 3 words: crazy ass bitch. I mean, this girl right here is just so insane it's almost scary. And I'm sure right now you guys are saying, hey Guru, you keep on going on and on about how crazy and scary Shion is, but you have yet to give a reason for why she's so evil. The first and largest reason why I consider Shion to be so evil is because of the controversial scene where she brutally tortures and murders Sadako. Shion ties her dead lover Satochi's sister Sadako up to a cross and stabs her literally 24 times, I counted by the way, before she finally dies, all while she forces her twin sister Mio Sonozaki to watch the brutal murder of her friend. Shion also murdered the main protagonist of the show, Keiichi Maebara, and is also responsible for the suicide of Rika Furude, where she stabbed herself exactly 9 times in the neck with a butchering knife. Now, if Shion isn't evil, I don't know who the hell is. I'm sure that a lot of viewers right now will either disagree with this choice or be in a complete and utter fanboy rage, but coming in at number 6 is Light Yagami from Death Note. Now, the number 1 reason why people argue that Light's an anti-hero rather than a villain is they say that Light had all the right intentions when he first came across the Death Note, and it wasn't his fault that he became corrupted by its power. I disagree. While I agree that Light had good intentions before he picked up the Death Note, it was his own choice to murder people such as L who were completely innocent and only wanted to bring Kira to justice. Now here are the reasons why I consider Light to be evil. First off, as I said before, he killed L. L considered Light to be his one and only friend and he killed him. L was a man who went through life probably never once experiencing what it really meant to be loved, and his life goal, which eventually was to catch Kira, ended in complete failure. What really sickened me though is when you see L looking up at Light in desperation in his last moments alive, and Light just gives him that evil smile back. It was also pretty dirty of Light to disrespectfully talk shit to L's grave at his funeral.
What do you think of that, L? This is my perfect victory! That's right! I win!
Later on in Death Note, you could also tell that Light had gone to the dark side, no pun intended, when he actually had to ask himself honestly how he was supposed to act at his father's deathbed. Like, what the fuck? And there are many other things that he did, such as using people like Kiyomi Takeda and Mikami Teru and simply throwing them away like trash. Now, I'm sorry if any of you disagree with me on this, but I personally consider Light to be evil. So yeah, moving on. Coming in at number 5 is Ryunosuke from Fate Zero. Now, this guy's hobby literally is killing people. Ryunosuke is a master who summoned Caster and Fate Zero, and both of them are pretty insidious. Throughout the series, Ryunosuke gathers large groups of children and murders them all at what he calls his parties. As messed up as this is going to sound, Ryunosuke is actually one of my favorite anime characters in Fate Zero because he's just so unique. Now, a lot of people might say that it's actually pretty cliche to have an anime character just completely slaughter other anime characters, but almost every other anime character who murders others always looks like a cold-hearted bastard with a dead look in their eyes. Ryunosuke looks like he's full of life. So why exactly is he the 5th most evil anime character of all time? I'm putting Ryunosuke so high on this list not because he kills children, but because the concept of human life has no meaning whatsoever to him. Ryunosuke is so intent on murdering kids that he completely gives up on the Holy Grail or forfeiting his chance to make any wish that he desires just so he can kill people. He even mentioned sometime during the anime that the act of murdering people and the fear in their eyes is beautiful to him. So yeah, that's why I chose Ryunosuke for number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Ishihara from Rainbow Nisha Rokubo no Shichinin. Ishihara's character is comparable to the warden from the Shawshank Redemption. He's a sadistic prison guard who's a complete douche to all the inmates at his prison and will punch and beat the inmates for even the slightest reasons. He also has a secret agreement with Dr. Sasaki at the prison, where Sasaki pays him to look the other way when he molests the boys in the prison. Now, all this is some pretty bad stuff, but the big thing that he did, and the reason that he holds the number 4 spot for the most evil anime characters of all time, is the fact that he killed Sakuragi. Ishihara always had a grudge against the inmate Sakuragi and did everything inside and out of his power to either kill him or at the very least keep him in jail. When Sakuragi finally got out, Ishihara tried to murder him, got knocked on his ass, and fatally stabbed Sakuragi when his back was turned. Ishihara's a dirty son of a bitch, and this is why he's number 4 on this list. Moving on. Next up at number 3 is Johann Lippert from Monster. Johann is simply pure evil. He's so evil, in fact, that he's actually compared to people such as Adolf Hitler and the Antichrist several times throughout the anime. So why exactly is he so evil, do you ask? Johann is very skilled at manipulating people to do his bidding, children in particular. Throughout the anime, there were many cases where the main character, Kenzo Tenma, came across a child who met Johann, and every single one of those children was a sociopath scarred for life or dead. As a child, Johann led a revolt at his orphanage and convinced 50 people to kill themselves simply by tossing an oil rag into a fire. He's also responsible for the deaths of nearly every character in the series that dies. He murdered his twin sister's foster parents, countless police officers, and directly caused the suicides of many more. Johann is also responsible for throwing an entire city into chaos by manipulating the elderly into handing out handguns to all the residents in town and lighting the match that started the fire. The reason that I have Johann so high on this list is out of all the animes I've seen, he's the most believable villain. His goals are realistic and his methods are possible. Johann Lippert is simply a perfect villain, and that's why he's number 3 on this list. Moving on. The number 2 spot on this list has to go to Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Dio is a dick. This guy will literally do anything in his power to piss off JoJo or to make him fail in life. Just to name off a few things that Dio's done. He burned JoJo's dog Danny alive, stole JoJo's girlfriend's first kiss, murdered JoJo's father, killed JoJo, and raised a vampire apocalypse. Dio Brando is simply the definition of evil and is very deserving of the number 2 spot on this list. Moving on. At last, we're at the end. Coming in at number 1, the most evil villain of all time is Griffith from Berserk. Now, if you only saw the first 2 movies and didn't watch the clips yet, you wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about. But Griffith, man, this guy is one dirty son of a bitch. Griffith is responsible for the sacrifice of all of his Nakama in the Band of the Hawk, aside from Guts and Casca. He literally just let them all die just like that without even batting an eye. They all just got devoured by demons and he didn't even care. Now, this might be bad, but to make things even worse, he raped Guts' lover, Casca, right in front of him, forcing him to watch as he banged her not only from the front, but from the booty as well. And all the time that he was raping Casca, he was giving Guts this mean-ass look, as if to say,
Nyaka, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Now, Guts got so pissed at this that he even went as far as to cut off his own arm in an attempt to save Casca, but in the end was slammed back down by a demon and continuously forced to watch as Griffith anally raped Casca. So yeah, this is why Griffith is, in my opinion, the most evil fucker of all time. Now this has been a fun video to make, so tell me what you guys think. Do you think that there's any characters that I left out that should have made this video? Tell me what you guys think in the comments, and rate and subscribe if you enjoy. But anyway guys, I'll see you guys later. I'm the Anime Guru, and peace.